In this video, I thought I'd expand a little more on my non-fiction book proposal journey. Not because I've completed it and gained an agent and publishing deal, as this hasn't happened yet. But because A, I want to record my progress so far, and B, I know a number of you are interested, either because you like the behind the scenes stories, or because you may one day be writing a book proposal of your own. My non-fiction proposal is all about creativity and confidence. I also want to tie it in with my previous video about growing my author platform, where I talk about flow and stock. In Austin Kleon's book, Show Your Work, he talks about how your social media posts, your online writing can turn into stock. So this would be my Instagram posts, my Patreon essays, my Substack essays, my blog posts, even my DMs on Instagram has all sort of amalgamated together and turned into an idea for a non-fiction book. So I'd like to share with you now how my book proposal began. Believe it or not, I think the idea for my non-fiction book stemmed from this blog post I wrote in June of 2017. It is basically the first time I had formed an opinion out loud that the internet can give creatives bad advice, and for those who are unconfident, bad advice can really take you in the wrong direction. Dotted amongst my Instagram posts about chickens, ducks, and tabletop flat lays was this one where I ask, why does writing make me feel so guilty? Incidentally, I'm devoting an entire chapter to guilt in my book. But scrolling back a bit further, on a sponsored post for Skoda UK, believe it or not, I wrote, "Write like no one is reading." Then we have my green notebook from 2017. This shows to me, in painful detail, how I had a lovely idea for a chicken keeping memoir that also looks at motherhood and regaining my sense of self, thanks to my feathery friends. But I stopped doing it because I took bad advice from the internet. I compared myself to others. I felt like I wasn't talented enough and had no idea what I was doing. Going through this process helped me with my idea for the book. My lack of creative confidence killed the idea. And then I have other notebooks. Just small examples here, dotted throughout, where I write something related to creative confidence. And then I joined a course by Beth Kempton about how to put together a non-fiction book proposal. What I'm going to show you now is video I recorded at the time in 2019 when I first started my book proposal. This week I started a course run by an author called Beth Kempton. A few weeks ago I was scrolling through my Instagram stories and I hadn't come across Beth before. I saw an Instagram story ad saying something along the lines of, "Have you always wanted to write a non-fiction book?" And so I immediately clicked on it, scrolled up, read about it, and I thought, yeah, this is something I need to do. This course is a month long and it's basically walking through step by step how to make these very tentative wisps of idea into something very concrete. This week has been such an exciting week and it's all I can think about at the moment is all this stuff to do with my non-fiction book. I have gone through a range of emotions, lots of excitement because I'm thinking, finally I'm doing this. This is something that I set up my Patreon for in the first place. I thought I'd write a series of essays and turn them into a self-published book, but now I'm thinking even bigger, and not just the series of essays, but to make it into something much more inspirational and along the lines of a how-to book, as well as all these kind of stories of my own experiences. So yes, I've gone through a lot of excitement, but thinking about all this stuff and writing all these notes down in my notebook, and I'm thinking, but can I do this? And I'm having such doubts, and I'm having difficulty solidifying this idea into something that is going to become very structured. Then I got a DM this morning on Instagram from one of my followers, and she said, paraphrasing here, but she said, I really want to be a writer, but I'm too scared to do it. And basically, how did I do it? What tips can I give her? And I thought, wow, this is exactly who my book is aimed at. And what a gift from the universe, and what a sign that this is, that this is what I have to do, and this is what my book is going to be all about. This is my book in post-it format. I've just been doing this, and I've had to stop every now and again because I was getting really excited, and then I got terrified and had doubts, and then I got excited again and then got terrified. It's been quite, well, knackering with all the emotions. And yes, it was a few years ago, and yes, I'm still working on it. My first idea that I worked on for months just didn't feel right in the long run. I don't think it was enough for an entire traditionally published book. Plus, technology and the internet moves on too fast. That book has been absorbed by my current idea, but would perhaps make a good ebook or a workbook that I could sell directly through my website. So I drifted for a while, but when Beth ran the course again, I decided to give it another shot, and this time I came up with the idea I have now. Incidentally, I don't think you need to do a course to put a non-fiction book proposal together. It helped me, although my lack of confidence still got in the way, but the information can all be found online as to what you need to include in the proposal. It's now 4 years later since I first started this process. We've gone through a pandemic. I've struggled with anxiety, depression, and more recently, burnout. I've created a membership club for unconfident creatives, then had to close it when it became too much. And I'm now on Substack, writing about all of this on a regular basis. And my proposal has gone from all those post-its that you saw in the footage from 2019 to 140 pages. It's been a slow process, but crucially, I am making progress. And now I just need to make those final edits, fairly big ones, before I start reaching out to agents. It's time. If you want to follow the behind the scenes of my proposal journey, I write a monthly update on my Substack for paid subscribers. It's quite vulnerable, which is why it's behind a paywall. And if you enjoyed this video, you may also enjoy a day in the life from September, where I share more of my book proposal writing process.